guys, this is Charlie from Charlie's Awesome World of Adventures, and today I'm going to give you my review on Descendants, The Rise of Red. It's about Red, the daughter of the Queen of Hearts, who's finally given a chance and to go to Ordon Prep. However, what she wasn't expecting was her mother to crash the party and cause a coup in Ordon. Luckily, Lee was given a time machine by the and she, along with the daughter of Cinderella, Chloe, we are set, and back in time to when our mums were in school, go and have to stop a prank, I could turn the Queen of Hearts into the evil dictator she is now. Yes, it's time to return to Ordon on a fourth adventure, and honestly, I'm not really sure how to feel about it. So, on one hand, I do enjoy the Descendants trilogy. I know it's not technically they're not technically fantastic movies, but they're type of films where you can put them on and just have a fun time. It's the same way as how I enjoy the zombie these movies, which is also another Disney Channel franchise. However, with a fourth one, and none of the main cast, with the exception of Uma's return, does leave there to be low expectations. But I did decide to go in with an open mind. I'm thinking that maybe there still is a chance for it to be good. And this is going to be tricky, because there are a lot of good things about this film, like a lot, but there are also a lot of weak things about it as well. So let's start with the characters. I wasn't expecting any of the new ones to be as great as any of as either Mal, Evie, Jay, or Carl was from the previous films, but honestly, I won't say that they're fantastic. I will say that one positive they did take from them is the voice acting, where each of the actors are able to deliver a great performance. Of course, there are some solid standouts, like Carly Control Red, but who I was surprised to find and did the best performance here was actually Rita Ora as the Queen of Hearts. It's not every day a singing can go to a movie star, and she nailed the performance of the Queen in capturing in her short or temper, and her royal authority. So, but with that said, let's begin in this with Red, as the Princess of Wonderland, and who doesn't want to live up to her mother's expectation since she's the next evil queen, and wants to finally live a life of her own. In short, she's just the typical rebellious girl that you would see in these types of movies. Alongside her would be Chloe, whose existence kind of baffles me, because didn't Cinderella and Charming have it for some other films, almost like Chad, because it seems like he just disappeared and like Chloe was like that only one. I'm not bothered that they got rid of Chad. In fact, I did find him to be the weakest character in the first three films. Also, as he was to the Descendants, what Bucky was as to the zombies films, but with no acknowledgement of him, it does make me baffled of where did he go. But that doesn't stop Chloe from just being the typical good Samaritan who just wants to be good be on our best behavior that must team up with Red reluctantly. And then there are the mums, the Queen of Hearts and Cinderella themselves. We don't get much time with their present selves of the most beginning. Acting as the Queen of Hearts as the evil queen, and Cinderella as the ex-best friend that wants to try, like, on looking down. But we do get a lot more into their younger sides, as most notably as Bridget and Ella, respectively. Honestly, I do like the idea of having them have different personalities to what they are now. While Bridget is the happy-go-lucky type of girl that wants to be friends with everyone, well, Ella is the hard-working chores girl that doesn't really care much for royalty. You see, I can see the potential of having them have different personalities when they were younger, but the film doesn't really do much with it. But as what they do focus on the friendship between them, it's mainly a small part of the film and nothing impactful. And as we go back in time, we're also introduced to the main villain of the feature, Uliyama, as Lila's baby sister. That has a huge distaste for Bridget and wants to cause the perfect prank that would turn her into the Queen of Hearts we know now. But that doesn't stop him from being a weaker version of Ursula, who's mainly teamed up with Pat as did Anthony somewhere in the previous Descendants films with Captain Hook, Maleficent, and then Hades, respectively. The latter two are also missed potential. So as it did seem, it was like they had a loving relationship that was broken apart in the previous films when Mal entered the scene. And this film could have shown a little bit into that. And do give a bit of idea of how the relationship between them didn't work out. However, them were just only shown as two of Uliyama's moves. And if you're expecting many returning characters, well, don't set your expectations too high. Right. Of course, Carlos is understandable with his act to passion before the first film was released. In fact, the film did start off with a loving tribute to him. Female LJ, A and Ben, and on their own adventures, the same way the Furious 5 were absent from Kung Fu Panda 4. Or with the only returning character just being Uma and the Fairy Godmother, for which it did show some good personalities, as the Fairy Godmother was retiring, as the principal of Autumn Prep to work at Autumn University, with Uma taking her place. But they don't really contribute much to us, and are only shown in the beginning and end of the film. And then there are the musical numbers, and what this film didn't really live up to many of the expectations from the other Descendants films. The songs, on the other hand, actually do. I do find them to easily be the best parts of the feature. Yes, there are some that are trying to be just us, like the songs in the other films, and that does us take off a few points for originality, but for the most part, they are solid numbers on their own. The film started really strong with Red, which is an introduction to our main character and her rebel life. After that, there's Loving It, which is mainly Owen as the Queen of Hearts preparing Red to take over her throne. After that, that's Fire of Our Lives, where Chloe and but do it pick up being on the same side, but eventually have to team up in order to save their mum. Oh, after that's life is sweeter. So by Red and Chloe, I introduced you to Bridget and how she's much nicer than the present Queen of Hearts. Following that is the villain song, what I actually called to be the standout was the feature, Perfect Revenge. And the way that Uliama was planning her way to get back at Bridget, it is really creative, and it does make the most of the choreography and cinematography. And finally, for original songs, let's get your hands dirty. On its own, it is a good song. And I get that it's kind of, it is technically used to show that there's different sides to good and bad. But personally, I think that song to be the most out of place in the film, as it doesn't fit as well as the other six. It's also worth noting that a few songs from past Disney films are in this, like Oh This Is Love from Cinderella, and Descendants 2, whose very own What's My Name, but their performances don't last up to more than a minute. And they're mainly shown as just little snippets. But next, there's the story. Honestly, even though this is using a basic time travel story, I can see the lots of potential. Like going back in time to see in the past, as lives of distant characters and how they spend their days out or don't prep, or as it's known in the time, the Merlin Academy. I mean, I can definitely see the potential of the idea. Yeah, and even though this is technically a basic predictable time travel story, it does make sense for what they're trying to do. However, there is one thing that makes this feel hard, and that is the time travel itself. I might as well get into the biggest problem of the story. It's really confusing. Like, yeah, for the most part I can easily focus and understand what's going on. But if you put in the Disney canon, there are lots of things that don't make sense. Most of these are spoiling the territory, or so I won't get too much into them. But it seems as if most of the Disney characters met at their loves at the Merlin Academy instead of on their own adventures. Which does make the film kind of confusing. It's also worth noting the pacing seems to be all over the place. Where it is kind of too fast to understand everything that's going on at once. And there are times it definitely does slow down a bit. It for sure. But there are also times where it goes quick. The running time is technically over 90 minutes, but trust me when I say it goes a little bit faster than you would expect. Actor 2. And plus, it doesn't change the fact that this is just a dull time travel story where our main characters just eat past versions of the parents, and try to help them out. It's basically like the Descendants version of Back to the Future, if you will. However, there are some good things to it, like mainly with how it respects the other films. I've already talked about the loving tribute it gave to Cat and Boyce and Carl lost at the beginning, but there are some things where it does feel like a proper Descendants film, mainly with the musical number. But as Axum, the fairy tale visuals and different Disney characters sprinkled around. And also, so I wouldn't go into it. There seems to be a lot of potential with some of the past versions of Disney characters during their times at the Merlin Academy. Like, I like the idea of the fairy godmother of her not being in a powerful magic wielder yet in her youth. And while I say it's kind of confusing, the idea of Disney characters meeting their love of the Merlin Academy does have the potential for a solid idea. Yes. There's also one thing this one does also take that I was handled in the first few films is the visuals. Well, say what you will about out TV movies, but Disney Channel does slightly put a higher budget into them. When it comes to their big musical ones, which is mainly shown in the Descendants trilogy, and that really does show in here. Sure, there are a few things that are off the visuals, one handled as great as the others, but there are still some good things. Getting into the little nitty gritty problems, one of them would be some of the magic effects. They're not terrible in this, but some of them did feel a bit off. However, there is a lot of things that are really strong. One of them being the costumes, hairstyling, and makeup. Each of the costumes are accurate to actual Disney characters, and the hairstyles are fantastic. Especially with the idea of having Cinderella and Chloe, we have them bright blue hair. I think that was a great touch. I don't fully understand why Cinderella had blue hair as in the Disney film. She's blonde, but I do like the idea show. Also, it's worth noting that the true highlights of the visuals are in the musical numbers, but that's where the choreography is at its best, offering some very memorable, mesmerising dances that can be interesting to watch. I know I haven't talked too much about the visuals, but I'm just going through the basics of what's good about them. So overall, let me say this now. I don't think that this is a bad movie. In fact, on its own, it is decent. However, but it did become what I feared. And after this, I can definitely say that yes, I do find this to be an unnecessary sequel. Descendants, The Rise of Threat, did have the potential to be a decent following to the Descendants trilogy. However, it's safe to say that this is easily the weakest film in the franchise. Well, there are a few good things that does take from the other film. It also like some good visuals, strong acting, and an enjoyable soundtrack. And it doesn't stop up some of its weaker aspects, with its dull and confusing story, and bland characters. So I can imagine huge die-hard Descendants fans probably enjoying this, and of course kids are going to enjoy this without noticing any flaws. But if you casually like Descendants films like me, then I would recommend to watch it at least once, but you won't miss out on much if you choose to skip this one. As for the rating, I'm just giving this a 5.5 out of 10. And I wouldn't say it's off this film's head or anything, but this movie definitely didn't rise either. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!